Hi everybody and happy Monday! I don't know why I feel so happy about Monday all the time. I think it's just that I get to talk to you guys. Mondays kind of suck though, so I hope that I make them just a little bit better for you. Anyways, I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a more relaxed video, hence why I'm in my green sweater. And just sort of chat with you guys. I had a release last week of Seas of Crimson Silk. If you have not read it yet, I highly suggest that you do. Of course, I can't make you run out and buy it, so anyways. There is a book box for that book specifically on my website, finally. Took a little bit of time, but I did get it done, so I hope that you guys like it. It's filled with some really, really cool stuff. $39.99. emmahamm.com/shop to make it nice and easy for you. So, today I asked, I'm looking at my phone here. Also, this chair keeps moving on me. There. Hi, again with the recorder. Still not very professional. On Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I ask on a monthly basis now for Q&A questions to answer in videos like this, which will be at the end of the month, and just kind of a relaxing, congratulations you survived through January video. So I've got a bunch of questions from you guys that are really, really awesome, and I can't wait to respond to them. I actually haven't read through all of them, so you get to do this with me. Alright, so first question from Meg is, do you have a favorite author or series? Yes, I do. So I'm going to put it up here because I can't get out of this. I wish I could show you guys my setup. I will someday because there's a light, the camera, and no way for me to get out of this unless I get on my hands and knees and go through the tripod. Anyways, now it will appear here. My favorite all-time book is The Abarat by Clive Barker. I can't describe how much I love this book. It is so imaginative. It's filled with all of his original artwork for the whole series, which I find absolutely freaking amazing. And it's just so cool about this woman from Chicken Town who, a young girl, I guess, she's 16, she ends up in the Abarat, which is filled with the islands of each hour of the day, including the 25th hour, which is sort of infinity. The characters are amazing. The bad guy, Christopher Carrion, has this like tank full of nightmares attached to his head, and the guy that's with her, John Mischief, he has horns with his 7 brothers are on the horns. Really, if you haven't read the book, go and read it. It's absolutely incredible. Next question. Who's your least favorite character you've written and why? Aaron. Oh, least favorite character. I don't actually know. I think probably Malachi from the series of Blood, who is just traditionally like a villain. He had his reasons for it. He's not, just a bad guy for it, but he sort of uses these, like, minor things that went wrong in his life as justification for being a bad person, and I just think that that's just an awful human being. And then I guess Safia from Seas of Crimson Silk as well. She's very much a manipulative, bad person who thinks that she's doing the right thing for her people, but in reality she's just making things worse. And I also really hate writing bad women because I know that there's a lot out there, and a lot of us have kind of suffered through that whole kind of crap of having bad women in our lives and having women be worse to us than other people. So I hate kind of perpetuating that image. Anyways, how do you plan out your plot, and do you often change it while writing? No. Well, no to the last one. I do not change my plot while I'm writing. I am an outliner, so I have by chapter a couple paragraphs per chapter just outlining everything that's going to happen, and I do not stray from that. I go through the process of figuring out what's going to be the best thing for that story. and I stick with it, I find that that helps me write a lot faster. Do you write your books from beginning to end, or main scenes and fill them in between? I know a lot of authors, especially big name authors, suggest writing the scenes that like really capture you and then filling in everything else. I find for myself that that doesn't work, because if I don't power through the scenes that I don't necessarily want to write or feel like writing, if I just write the scenes that excite me and then fill in, you can tell the fill in parts. So I have to force myself to be excited about everything. Are you going to do more book boxes? Yes, I am. The plan is still book boxes for every release. I'm going to try to do that. It is a lot of work, as you can imagine. Book boxes are, there's a lot that goes into them. But the intent is, yes, to do them for every release. Tara Lynn Michelle, why are you so freaking awesome? I'm not, but I'm glad that my online persona says that I am. When you started the Otherworld series, how did you start the actual outline for the world building? Like I said, I outline, so I just sort of sat down and figured it out. I knew that I wanted the fairyland to be very pagan, so I did a lot of research on pagan mythology and magic. And Sui also asked, how do you pick your next dynamic for the upcoming book? When I started the Otherworld series, this is Otherworld in particular, I outlined every book that I wanted to do. There's 11 stories that I know what I want to write, but I don't know if they'll be published. It depends on how each book sells. So I know that there's East of the Sun, West of the Moon, which is coming out in March, and then depending on how that one sells, there is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling. There's 2 of them. And then, sorry, I look down when I'm thinking. Look at the camera. There's 12 Dancing Princesses, and then there is Rapunzel, Cinderella, Rumpelstiltskin, and I think that's it. Let's see. What else do we have here, people? What was your favorite book growing up? I've already answered that. That's The Aberrat. That is what inspired me to be a writer. I like the kind of dark and gritty and weird stories, so I hope that my writing kind of reflects that. How do you come up with your book ideas? They are amazing, by the way. Thank you. My books ideas kind of come from everything, from movies to video games to TV shows. I had a fantastic idea while I was in Italy, just staring at a mountain. I don't know how my brain works sometimes, so I really don't have an answer to that question. They just sort of happen. How do you choose the artwork for your covers, and what do you give the artist to work with? So I specifically look for cover artists that are illustrators, but not necessarily cover artists. I think that it's really important for book covers to have a certain flair to them, so I get the sort of feel of the story. You can see that on my circus books, that those are 1940s. It's a little bit washed out because it's paranormal. And then I just spend a lot of time looking for them for the right feel. And then once I message them, I sort of give them the idea of the story, the summary, the characters, the feeling of the book that I want, and then I let them go. In my opinion, my ideas are not going to be anywhere near as cool as illustrators. So I actually let my illustrators do that. If it's not a secret, how do your creative process and outlines look like? Sort of already answered that one as well. I just write 2 or 3 paragraphs for each chapter. So like I mini write each chapter, and then I just embellish. It's not really any kind of a secret. It's just how I do things. And there's only a few more questions. So what do you do when you get bored with one project? You power through it. I fully subscribe to the ass in seat theory. Sorry for swearing on YouTube, but sit down, put your hands on the keyboard, start writing. You'll get over the boredom, but you have to write consistently every single day and just start word vomiting. And then there are 2 other questions. Well, there's a lot of questions, but only 2 more that I can get to because we're at 10:25. which is probably not because I probably edited it down, but I don't want to like take up too much of your time. Hello. I wonder what. Anyways, so there are a lot of questions about self-publishing. What do I look for in an editor? Advice for becoming a self-published author. What's your best advice for outlines, Excel, Word, Post-it notes, etc.? So in my self-publishing 101, I am going to go over all of that, so I'm not going to answer it in this video. The self-publishing series that I'm going to do is one a month. If you want more than that, I can certainly do that, but that was my plan, so stay tuned. I'm going to go over self-publishing and all kinds of things in that area, including outlining and editing and all of that. So it'll happen. The next one is coming up next week if you're super, super excited for it. I am. So anyways. And last but not least, if you have read some of my books and you liked them and you haven't reviewed them on Amazon yet, it is so important for authors to have reviews on Amazon. So please, please, please go run and review them. And I appreciate it, but also other readers appreciate it, and it sort of validates that the book has worth. So I think that's it. Anyways, have a wonderful week. I hope that I brightened up your Monday a little bit. And that's it. So, bye.